We've done a number of videos in the past on Brighton Bun travelling candlesticks. Recently we did one on this unusual pair of Carolean birch treen Brighton Buns, and we've also done a video on this pair of silver Dominic and half of New York pair of Brighton Buns. Well, if you haven't seen any of those videos, you're probably wondering what on earth a Brighton Bun travelling candlestick is. Well, the name was probably invented by antique dealers as a quick description. Whenever we've seen them in catalogues, they've been described as travelling candlesticks, military candlesticks, or folding candlesticks. And basically, the dishes of a pair of Brighton Bun candlesticks form the pattern case. So here you can see the Brighton Buns all packed up. And if we undo the two halves of the case, we have the two candlestick dishes. Now, each dish has got either a female screw section thread or a male. And conversely, the candle holders have the same. So you simply put them to the opposite, screw them together, and very quickly you've got a pair of very useful candlesticks. And of course, light was very important. This candlesticks really, especially if you're traveling, were your main form of lighting. Now, this pair are made of cast brass, and they're early to mid 19th century in date. And you see a few different similar examples to this pair that typically have the same sort of shaped sconce, but the dishes are slightly different. The dishes to this pair have got a slight moulding to the edge. You get some which have got a stronger moulding, and you get some where the dishes are completely rounded and completely plain. They're a decent weight, you know you're lifting them, and they're a good sized pair of candlesticks. These two pairs are much later in date. They're closer to 1900 or even into the early 20th century, and they are made of sheet brass, pressed brass. We'll come on to those in a minute. But here's another early pair, and they are also made of cast brass. They've got a very slight moulding to the edge, and they're probably a little bit earlier than this pair. And one of the ways that we know that is from the size of the sconce, to take a smaller size candle. But you can see the shape is not too dissimilar. So let's just screw these together so you can see what they look like. And there you go. So one pair of cast, two pairs of cast. Now onto the pressed ones. Well, pressed brass candlesticks were much quicker and cheaper to make, and so more affordable. And we can see the edge of a dish has the brass turned over and rolled to form a lip. You can see quite a different sound. This has got a ring to the casting. This has got a much duller dead sound for the pressed brass. But the quality of the sconces, the candle fittings to this pressed brass pair is quite good. It's not bad. But we can see the difference in quality immediately between the two pairs. Now onto this final pair. These are also pressed brass. They're probably going to be a little bit later in date than this pair. And you can see the sconce is perhaps not quite as good quality. The dishes are a little bit smaller as well. You've got that dull, dead sound. And there we can hopefully see the difference in the quality. So you've got some ring turnings by way of decoration to this sconce, and the metal is a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger. The fitting is certainly stronger. The dishes are bigger, and they're just a little bit earlier, perhaps not much, but a little bit, and just much better quality. So these two pairs of pressed brass are going to be late 19th, early 20th century. This pair are going to be early to mid 19th century. And this pair are going to be a little bit earlier. They're going to be probably early 19th century. So there you go. 4 different types of brass Brighton Bun travel candlesticks.